2TC is an achievement in Bloons Tower Defense 6 where you need to only place down 2 towers and only 2 towers in order to complete the 95 rounds of the mode. And I'm feeling really tired today, so I want to do something that is relatively easy, but also still quite fun at the same time. We're going to be doing Spear of the Forest and the M.A.D. So one is extremely good against ceramics and one is extremely good against Moabs. They both complement one another very well. So let's get cracking with this by deploying down our Druid, and we're going to see how far we can get on a non-challenge editor game. I'm used to doing 3, 5 or 6 hour shifts at work, but today I had a full 8 hours of work today with a 1 hour break in between, but I'm just not used to that kind of level of work at the moment, so I'm a little bit on the drained side. So I really want to do something that is still fun to do, but it's relatively simple once you got the hang of things. So we're going to be going up to, let's say, we'll get advanced targeting first so we don't have to worry about camos. And then we're going to get focused firing next so that all of these darts are able to hit where their target is in a straight line more often than not. There could be some cases with a M.A.D where bottom path is better since each of the darts / missiles have more pierce. But to be honest, I'd rather just be able to hit my target with focused firing rather than trying to rely on RNG in order to enable the missiles to actually hit or go completely wide, which is not what we want to do here today. Me, I dislike RNG and I dislike microing as methods of ensuring success in this game. Going from second RNG and number 1 micromanagement. Micromanagement is my least favorite aspect if you didn't know already. Druid of the Jungle is up, which means now we can create some vines on the field. At the moment we'll stick to Strong, but on round 63 we're going to switch to first because all this is going to do is try and pop the ceramics. We can't even see round 27. The round is just going that well. So we need Druid of the Jungle paired with hard thorns, almost call it heart thorns there, in order to pop the leads. If we don't have hard thorns, then the Druid of the Jungle will not be able to pop the leads from afar. And that also goes towards Spear of the Forest as well. If you don't have hard thorns, then the vines that grow on the ground that goes throughout the entire track cannot pop leads, and therefore cannot help in the contribution towards the poppage of the DDTs. But then again, for M.A.D, we don't need that. But for early game, yeah, definitely hard thorns. If you go bottom path, then it's only good when you are trying to generate more money if you have a lot of farms around it. Because I think Druid range actually does increase the potential of it reaching towards more farms to generate more cash per ability usage. And multiple people have said to me that, why did you not use the Jungle Bounties' ability in Chimps? Well, let me give you some information, people who keep spamming that. You cannot use the ability on Chimps, and even if you would be able to use the ability, it will generate nothing. You cannot generate additional income in Chimps. You can only get it from pops, end of round bonus, and if you're able to get that far into the game of Chimps, support sacrifices to the Sun Temple, and then from there the true Sun God. So just want to lay that out because there are people who think that you can use that kind of ability on a Chimps game where you cannot use it whatsoever at all. And if you're in doubt, try it for yourself to see if you can use it or not. See, look at this, okay? We've got Jungle's Bounty here. Let's see. Can't activate it here. Cannot activate it here. And I'm pressing 1. Hopefully you can hear the keyboard mashing there as I lean it towards the microphone. As I press 1, which is the ability usage for your first ability, you cannot use it, so stop commenting about it. Or you're going to say, well, you just didn't press it hard enough. Have you ever heard of binary code where it's zeros and ones? 0 is not clicking it, 1 is clicking it. There's no in-between or anything like that. It's just one or the other. North, south, east, west, light, dark, good, evil. There's 2 sides of things, okay? So stop asking me about the usage of Jungle's bounty in Chimps. Okay, we're around 48. Just want to get that up away. Rocket Storm. That's going to be very handy up against, well, the multiple mouths which are going to be coming our way. So the only slightly difficult bit of this entire game is the mid-game before we're getting Spirit of the Forest and then before getting the M.A.D. So we're just going to let this one travel. There's no need to try and chase it if we can pop it normally. It's when there's multiple M.A.Ds, which is when we're going to rely on the Rocket Storm ability. There we go. Round 51 commences. There we go, using it for the first time there. I just felt like I needed to use it when there's multiple Moabs on the field at the same time. But again, there's this case as well. It's more or less when they go into their ceramic phase is when you need that additional poppage from your Dartling Gunner that is with Rocket Storm. Laser Shock is not necessary, but you may never know. That +1 damage might come in clutch. Like never. I'm holding off from Heart of Thunder because I feel like we're going to need Spirit of the Forest sooner if we have that 1,000 more in the kitty, let's just say. Was it the kettle? More in the kettle, more in the kitty? What is the proper phrasing of that sentence there? More in the kitty or more in the kettle? I believe it is more in the kitty, but I'm just laying out there as an open question rather than something that's concrete. Because it has a question mark, not an exclamation mark. Round 59. Camo leads, no chance against our Rocket Storm. Now round 60. This is probably the first round where we definitely need to use it. Here we go. There. Excellent. Round 61 is here. Done round 60. There's multiple of these actually, which is a little bit alarming. Can we do this? Yes, we can. Round 62 goes the same as before. Do we need to give chase on these, or are we okay? Nah, we don't need to give chase, although we will benefit from this. Thank you very much. Switch that to first, so that the vines that spawn out of the tracks from the 3rd and 4th tiers are spawned at the frontmost, rather than trying to always pop the ceramics. And there's round 63 sorted. Okay, so use the ability again. And we have Spirit of the Forest. Lovely. And I really want to get it before getting Heart of Thunder so that we can deal with those few fortified Moabs with the strongest vines or strongest thorns that grows out of the ground. So this is going to be a cakewalk until like the late 80s / early 90s. So there's not really going to be a huge amount to talk about because literally this scene is making it so that it is just entirely possible to get through this rounds. Like, there's no need to micromanage this, and this is literally just doing all of the work. This is one of the best towers when it comes to dealing with ceramics. This is possibly the best tier 5 tower outside of outside of a true sun god with the right sacrifices, and most certainly the vengeful true sun god when it comes to dealing with Moabs. Because the M.A.D is honestly just something else, honestly. Like, this is brilliant against the bad or any Moabs. The bottom path is an all-rounder. And in a ways, the top path is an all-rounder. Like, well, possibly this is definitely more of an all-rounder. This one down here is high damage, but only a moderate amount of pierce. whereas Way of Doom is all about Pierce. Quite late in the video, but why Resort? It's one of my favorite maps, honestly. It's one of the easiest maps to get the hang of different runs. If you're going for a Chimps game for the first time, this is definitely a map in which you want to be, well, was one of your starting maps on trying to get a Chimps game on. Others are Logs, Scrapyard, Cubism, 1-2 Tree is up there as well if you put the right placements down at the time using the various squares throughout the map. So yeah, this is one of the easiest maps throughout the game, and it's my preferred map when it comes to getting all Paragons to level 100, simply because of the layout of the map. Like, Logs is not as friendly when it comes to deploying down farms, but it is a longer map, so technically you can get further, but it's the build-up that I like, as well as just the end result. The journey is sometimes more important than the end destination, because if you only look at the end destination, then what did you get out of that journey in which you have commenced yourself down through? Like, sometimes you may be stuck on a particular part of the mid-journey for hours on end, or even days on end, or even weeks on end, months on end. You get the gist, but there's always an end in sight if you have enough determination, enough practice, enough confidence, enough patience in order to get through that line. And I don't know why I'm speaking so poetically and inspirationally, but at the moment we are just dealing with the mass of balloons beautifully. I would say this is definitely, if it going from S as in easiest, so S as in hardest to F being easiest, I would say this is definitely F tier. This is one of the, or possibly the easiest 2-tower chimps you can ever get, because both of these towers complement each other very well. Like I said at the very beginning, this is very good against ceramics, this is very good against Moabs, but it's crap against ceramics. Although this is moderate against Moabs, like, don't underestimate this thing. Like, this is why we are being carried throughout this game. Like, not because of this, but because of this. But before getting this was being carried by this. So, again, complementing one another. Being good at one thing and being able to cover for the other tower's weakness. Like, that in and of itself is what makes a perfect 2-tower chimps. Is the complementary factor of both towers with one another. Because one's very good against one particular target, and the other one is very good against another particular target. Because it's all good trying to pop the bad, and then popping the other Moab class layers after it. But then there's also the little things that spawn inside, the ceramics. And if this thing cannot pop the ceramics to save its own skin outside of using its ability and having buffs on it, like let's say a perma-brew, overclock, call to arms / homeland defense, then you're not going to have a particularly fun time when dealing with all of those super ceramics on round 98. Like this thing and the Archmage have a similar problem where they're very good at dealing with the Moab, but they are just unbelievably rubbish against ceramics. Although I'd say Archmage is better against ceramics than the M.A.D is, but the Archmage is still down there when it comes to one of the worst ceramic poppers. But then again, we have this, which is one of the best. Round 85 is done. Round 86. You know, let's just gonna use the ability because we can use it. There's no real threat in front of us. This is really relaxing, very calm. Also like this music as well. This is a very calming music. It's let's see, it's Winter Nights Chilled, if you're wondering. It's sort of a wintry themed song / Christmassy themed song, but I really love it because of the chaos of Balloonist Tower Defense 6, and then there's the calming of this music. Again, with these two, they're very good dualities with one another. 87 for ZOMGs, doesn't matter because we have ourselves this in the bag. And we should be able to afford the M.A.D on this round of round 88. Let's just use that and then do that. And oh dear, just watch the absolute extermination of these towers commence. It's just oh so beautiful. Round 90. You got something to say, DDTs? Well, guess what? I've got a friend you'd like to meet. He's got 2 arms that fires M.A.D destructive missiles. Let's see, round 92, same story. Round 98 is going to be a breeze. Round 95 is going to be a breeze. Round 99 is going to be a breeze. Like every single round now, like the only reason we could lose now is because we have the M.A.D pointing over here. And actually I should not be doing that. Like that's the only reason we could possibly lose the game. Is if I'm stupid with the targeting of the Dartling Gunner now. This is very good, very good. Round 95. This thing is just dealing with all of these camo balloons. Like we would probably struggle just a tad bit more if we didn't have the hard thorns down. We don't even need to use our ability as well. You know what? We will use it. We're going to see how close this is when it comes to the comparison of these two. I believe this is still going to edge it slightly. But we'll see what we can do. Like, I think this is going to be a possible duo to have when it comes to getting like 1,000,000 pops each. But you've got to really time it carefully and use your abilities to the max. But with all the balloons on screen, I doubt so. Let's see. Nah, this is going overboard, so we can't get 1,000,000 per tower here. But I like to think that it is possible. You just got to spawn down Spear of the Forest just a little bit later. There we go. There's round 99 dealt with, and there's the bad. And well, let's just use the ability now. There's just no point. Oh, dearie me. And what? Oh, great. This is what we get for our endeavors. The game is like, well, you got yourself an extremely easy 2-tower chimps. Let's give you a very basic instant monkey that's not even a tier 1 or a tier 2. It's a tier 0. It's unupgraded. Lovely. That is what we call a very successful, very easy 2-tower chimps. I would say this is even easier than the Glaive Lord M.A.D duo, just because of the fact that Spear of the Forest has unlimited range around the map. Like yes, it's a bit later on to set up the Spear of the Forest in comparison to the Glaive Lord, but just look at the thorns all around the map. Just look at them all. It's beautiful. And also the reason why I have the Spear of the Forest spawn down here rather than top left is just because of the placement of these vines. It means that the most powerful thorns, the most powerful thorns that spawn out of a track, they're more or less centered around this part of a map, rather than, let's say, having it up here and less of them spawn down here. But then again, there could be a argument's sake where, like, because of the fact that it's always along this part of the track here a bit more often, but I like having it down here, honestly do. Thank you all so much for watching. That is possibly one of the, or if not the easiest 2-tower chimps ever. And because of a straight line here, it really suits the Dartling Gunner very well. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, everybody. I almost have enough money here to buy the M.A.D right off the bat.